guys, Michelle here from Elderberries Gardens. I just want to apologize for not posting for quite a while. It's probably verging on about 2 months by now, I would think. There's been a number of reasons why I haven't posted. I have been sick with laryngitis and flu on and off that bugged me for about a month of that time, so I was feeling out of sorts, sort of just getting better from the first bout, and then the second bout hits you. And well, I've had a bit of editing problems, trying to get new editing programs, and also we got a new computer, so the upgrade and figuring out things there. I've had a bit of a hard time on the spiritual side of things, been struggling with battles there, but I'm good, and by God's grace I'm here to share with you guys, and hopefully there's those of you that have stuck around. Maybe I've lost a couple of you understandably along the way, but I'm back in the swing of things again, and I'm going to post every 2 weeks or so. I might not video the process of me physically doing the things, but I'll maybe just update you on what we have been doing in the garden, as the editing process is quite a time-consuming job. Maybe I'm a bit of a perfectionist in choosing the music and all that kind of things, and also trying to get the balance between housework and the garden and family and your spiritual life. There's a lot of things that I need to balance, and yes, I ask God to guide me and teach me the balance and how to be a good person. But I'm back in the swing of things again. So this is what we've been up to. Well, this is what Maniki's been up to. Maniki does other things in the morning, and then he's been weeding a bit. So you guys probably haven't even seen the labyrinth cleaned up, so it's quite cool. I haven't seen the labyrinth cleaned for so long that even I feel quite excited at the prospect of it being cleaned. So it's looking good, and I have lots of seed to scatter and lots of other things that I need to be planted in here. So cleaning the weeds out is also preparation for more plants that we need to move, as things are the weather's perfect now for moving. So that's a lot of what we're going to be doing in this upcoming month or two, is moving plants and moving more plants. Look how beautiful the Barleria is. This we moved a good few videos ago, but boy, they've settled in and they're looking so beautiful. Even the plectranthus here, I wanted to show you this, how beautiful that is as well. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so let me show you what else we've been up to. This is the first of the plants that we're starting to move. Maniki did dig these all up yesterday, and then he's planted them here today. The weather yesterday was a good day because it was sort of overcast, raining off and on. Today's overcast but no rain. So these are sambucus, elderberries. These were just out back behind where the cows grazed. So he managed to get quite a number of plants, which I'm quite pleased about. So hopefully this will cover up here and form a hedge pretty quickly. So they look very sticky and twiggy, as the grass and that had very much just overgrown them. We do need a little bit of soil here and there, but Maniki can maybe look at that tomorrow. So this will form a hedge just to block this garden from view, as the whole idea here was to have a hedge that ran along fully to the bottom of the garden there, well, the end of the driveway. So the hedge changes obviously as it goes up. So we have that section where the ferns are, then we've got crassula, and then the berry hedges further up. There is a little section just before the top berry hedges that we will just hang fire in case we need to get a truck in there for clearing that side of the garden when we do tackle that. But I'm not going to that side of the garden, bar maybe this little area which I'll look at until we are done with this side. So on to the next thing which we've gotten done. So there in the background, that is the little forest garden. So the pots that are there, they were situated further forward, and some of them were over there and over there. So I've been shifting a lot of that. Also these bowls, sort of half balls, these are reject balls. They have no bottoms to them. So there was a lot of them. Yeah, you can actually sort of see where I sort of pulled them up. So I shifted this back to give room to plant maybe some form of other bushier plants, shrubbier plants in the front here, just to block the view into there more so than what it is now. The melaleucas are starting to hang down and create that lace curtain effect, which is quite cool, but it is still very visible, which is not so good. So I've been doing a lot of moving here, and there is still certain ones that need to go back inside, and then I might lose the bowl effect here altogether and just use all of those pots on the inside and take those plants. These are all hen and chickens. There's variegated ones, green ones. Actually, I want to show you these hen and chickens, and then I'm going to show you the ones further in. And then that's also hen and chicken. There you can see it's a bit of a nicer one. So, and then there's actually a bigger one, bigger leafed one. So there's 3 different kinds of hen and chicken, yeah. Okay, but I'm getting a bit sidetracked as to what we've done. So I'm gonna maybe take you from this side, yeah. So this very overgrown pathway leads up to the forest garden. This I still need to name. I am contemplating Forest of Light, and you'll see why I'm contemplating Forest of Light, or maybe Forest of Whimsy, one of the two. I haven't quite made up my mind. So we've got things like that in this little forest. I've moved him, so he looks quite cool, yeah, because I thought having little creatures like these metal creatures will bring in that feeling of whimsy. So I've been doing things like that, like old cups that were standing with all that little green and yellow girl has fallen over. So those are cups which I've just put there to make little houses, and then this is like a little pottery. One of the stall holders at the markets gave me a whole box full of these little pottery ornaments made by kiddies, obviously, when they're first learning how to do pottery. So yeah, that's a little housey there. So let's see. Okay, so a lot of those pots I've been moving. Like there's one of the bowls that were in the front, things like those. Clary was trying to make a great big flower with the 2-liter plastic bottle, so that's quite cool, just to bring a bit of light in there. And then I've had things like this sort of glass, all the glass over there that I've just popped all along. You can see. Actually, let's just go from this side here. So things like this I've had stored up in the craft area now for just a while, with intentions to use it. And then old shoes. Well, these ones have been here a long time, but those ones that look still newer, those are fresher shoes. So things like positioning that, and then these pots that were all along the outside, positioning them throughout here These have been here for quite a while. I did reposition the shoes. So very much all the glass that has fallen off there. Need to position that back up top there. I think that is there. I was moving the big pots yesterday and I knocked that over. There's another plant that I moved around. Now all this glass is what I've been putting here. Those three that are identical, that is actually the inners of flasks that I just kept. The outer housing broke and the inner housing was still fine, so I put that there. So all the glass is to represent like mushrooms, fungi, that kind of thing. That's why I'm contemplating the calling it the Forest of Light. And then I had marble stored up, and those were a whole lot of bottles which I'd kept in the vase cupboard, so that at least decluttered the vase cupboard a little bit. Still lots of vases in there, but at least it's a few less, which makes it a little bit more breathing space. So we've been positioning glass, all those little glass goodies on top there, plants. So all these pots is what I've moved and I've arranged just in strategic places here and there. There, that was also all stuff packed with the by the succulents outside the kitchen door. You can see these pavers were all along there, so I moved some of them away just to open that space up. I'll bring one of those big patios out in the front and put there, and we'll just fill it with lots of flowers. This must be light brought in via the glassware, and then just beautiful flowers. So all these were things that I've been moving and playing around with. Things like this is also new stuff that I've shifted from the front side to here. Those things over there. More pottery that was stored away. So along here we had a whole lot of square pavers, and the square pavers were just not doing it for me. They were just feeling out of kilter with everything being round this side and square this side. So I did take all the square ones away, and I've popped some of the round ones here. We'll put another great big patty. You can see there where the pavers were. They were wedged in quite well. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past while. Maniki is doing the other stuff, and this is what I've been doing. So you can just see all the pops of glass, yeah, and there. And we've got lots of bare patches, so we'll be getting more pots, more of the bowls from the front, and then just filling them with beautiful plants that get beautiful flowers, pretty flowers. That's sort of the idea. Pretty flowers and lots of glass to bring in the light. And then this is all the pavers that was over there, and then I'll just be using them over there to make a base for some tables and chairs. So off to the next thing that we've been doing. Okay, this is the treasure cove. We've sort of been clearing outside the kitchen door, trying to just slowly declutter outside the kitchen door. So those are a couple of the plants, the setups that were outside the kitchen door that I've brought to here, so that at least has opened up. There's more of the pottery that came from the box with the kiddies things, and then some of those is also what, when I was young at school, or my sister, that was a couple of the things that we've made. And then I've positioned a few of them here and there. Those pots too, also just getting all the terracotta pots which are better for succulents, so that kind of things we've also been decluttering other areas just by adding things here and there. There's a little bit more of the pottery, and I've been sticking a few little sea creature potteries in here, little turtles. There might be tortoises, but they'll be turtles for this process. And there's a little fishy and there's a little octopus inside there. So that is sort of those kind of things. There's two more little pottery ornaments. So let me show you the next thing. Okay, so this is the last thing that I want to show you that we've also sort of gotten up to over the last while. We've managed to get these pots planted up. This is outside the kitchen door. So we've got a whole lot of little trays of seedlings, vegetable seedlings. There's beetroot, parsley, green onions. That's tarragon. So that's looking quite cool. I did seal these boxes inside so that the cement doesn't suck up too much of the moisture, and we use lots of the palm tree leaves as they fall up. That the thick part really sucks the moisture up and holds on to it. So I filled it with lots of that so that it'll be retaining the moisture. Let me show you the others that we got planted up. Things are taking shape little bit by little. So there's clutter mixed in with tidy. There's more lettuce, onions, and some kale. And this is lemon thyme, which I dug up in the garden because it was very overgrown. That's why it looks sort of kind of like it looks. But I see a little bit of promise there, so hopefully that'll be all right. That's a bay tree that we had all along. This is celery and green onions, and this is chocolate mint. Now I have seen the soil be very scratched around here, so either the dogs are eating the soil, because this came from a lady that has horses, the stables, and so there is obviously horse poop in here. So our dogs will be very guilty because they do steal cow pats when the cows come to graze. So I have sprinkled cayenne pepper, and I'm hoping that will keep the cat at bay if it is the cat. And this is chives. They were in the gutter. They were suffering terribly in the gutter. And this is costmarie, which I got just for lettuce, for leaves for salads. And that is garlic chives. And then this is a perennial basil. I think it's called High Hopes. But this needs cutting back, which we will cut back and then take cuttings for to start the propagating process. And then these are the other ones. I moved a rosemary from the Labyrinth. This is not one that grows big. This is like a low growing one, but it's looking a little bit on the sad side. But that part there looks a bit green and perky. So we have got a hornet nest there, which is not so very good. Sage, and then this is oregano, which I'm quite pleased that it sprouted again, because Clary helped me to do this. Clary and her partner Brian helped me to do this, so I was quite blessed that they helped there. So Brian tried to pull it out, and then it snapped it off, but the little root that we planted is sprouting beautifully. The oregano is very, very tough. And then this is just a repeat of the other veggie box. So that's what we've been up to of late. So not a lot of weeding done besides Maniki weeding the Labyrinth, but I'm getting in the swing of things, and I will be posting every fortnight. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. God bless, and then go well.